Hello. Sorry, I was muted. All right. Sorry for the late start. I took a shower and have been eating lunch and like looking at Twitter and stuff. But we're gonna start here in just a second. I already have the project open and everything. Um, can you guys hear that in the microphone? I like keep hearing. It almost sounds like high wind or like a motor or something. Whatever. Okay. Let's get started here. Well, let me start my timer here. All right. I hope everyone's having a good day. How was everyone's weekend? I finally got around to finishing Pacific Drive last night. Finally. So now I can start Stellar Blade, but I really enjoyed Pacific Drive overall. Especially after I got the hang of I was really I want to tie my hair up, but I don't want to do it while it's wet. I was very overwhelmed by like all of the driving systems, like the fact that all the parts, like all the car parts, can deteriorate over time, and you need to replace them or upgrade them or whatever. Uh, that didn't take long for me to get used to. I ended up liking it a lot. But anyway, um, I think I'm gonna end up platinuming it too, and maybe I'll play it on stream too once I get a desk set up and everything, and I'm able to stream from my consoles again. Uh, then that'll be um, one that we can play on stream because I really enjoyed it. I think it would be fun to play on stream, especially after playing through the whole game once and really getting used to it. Um, I think it would be really fun now that I'm like knowledgeable of best practices when you're going on runs and stuff. Anyway, let's get this project open and we're gonna start working on this. Oh, also don't mind me. I'm still kind of eating my lunch. I've got carrots and a tangelo, which eating a tangelo while streaming isn't the easiest thing, just because if it doesn't, this one is like not really tearing very easily, so it's like squirting juice out, and I don't want it to like spray on my computer or something, because sticky sugary juice on the computer is not a good mix. Okay. Do I have the game open? I do. Okay. So, uh, so here's where we're at right now. Game plays. Whoops. Hold on. Let's play maximized. So we got the explosion working. We pick up the power up if I can pick it up. If I right click without anything, player uses the none ability. We can shoot stuff. We can shoot a rocket. Uh-oh. What's going on? Alright, our rocket is broken somehow. Oh, you know what? I wonder if that sphere collider is, Shit, that sphere collider is not gonna work. remove the sphere collider. Great. Oh. Huh. Overrides. Apply all. There we go. Alright, so that's not going to work the way I wanted it to. We're going to actually have to draw, or not draw. There we go. We can probably double the force. Actually, forgot to start the timer again. Huh. Alright. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. Okay. So I had this little document up last time. Rocket behavior. This detection radius, right? The player shoots the rocket, and by default, it just moves forward. It doesn't do anything. This radius, the detection radius, will move with the rocket, and if an enemy or a designated object is detected within that radius, it'll go toward that first thing. That's what I want. And something that would be really nice, yeah, debug draw radius. Oh, I see. Void on draw gizmos. Okay. That's what I was trying to find before. And I wasn't really sure how to do it. Okay. Whoops. So let's go into our rocket. And actually, rocket behavior. So we need our, whoops, detect public float detection radius. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. I'm gonna look something up really quick because... Oh, actually, you know what? We might already have code that could kind of do this. Now that I think about it. Wait. The blast radius. So there should be explosion radius. How is explosion radius being used? Okay. Sorry, let me see something. Okay. Sorry, job opportunities coming up, or a job opening at another studio got posted in a Discord that I'm in, so I'm probably going to add it to my list of places to apply to. Okay. Okay, so the explosion radius is being used in the add explosion force method call or function. This is being used as a parameter, so it's not actually being like wholly defined in a specific spot. But that does give me an idea that maybe there's a function like a detection or something. How to detect something within radius unity. Building a merging game. Okay. Yep. You need to calculate the distance between the objects. Towers on the map. Okay. Vector 3 dot distance. Oh, if vector 3 dot distance. Oh, but that might fuck things up. We could try it. So something like that. Excuse me. So maybe instead of like a... No, it would still be like within a certain radius. But maybe in the player controller we can do that? If enemy is not null. And... distance... Actually, no, because I don't want it to go... I don't want it to go toward the enemy immediately. I want it to go toward the enemy once it reaches a certain point. If homing and target are not null. Okay, so target needs to be redefined. Target equals homing target. Maybe if target if distance, how do I use that? Vector 3 dot distance. If vector 3 dot distance so object 1 and then object 2 are the parameters, the transforms. So parameter vector 3a returns the distance between an A and B. So between target dot transform dot position and transform dot position. Is less than detection radius. Then target equals homing target and homing equals true. And then it'll destroy that. And then let's do on gizmos, on draw gizmos. Implement this on draw if you want to draw gizmos that are also pickable and always drawn. Okay. Color dot red. Okay, hold on. Gizmos.color. Okay. Draw a yellow sphere at the... I just want to draw a circle. On draw gizmos. Huh. Debug dot draw. No, what was it? Gizmos dot color. Whoop. Dot color equals color dot red. Gizmos dot draw wire mesh. And then what's this parameter? Oof, no, let's not do that. Dot draw shape. Draw sphere. Draw wire sphere. And then we need center, which is transform dot position. And then the radius is detection radius. Oh, fuck you. Detection radius. Okay, hopefully that... Let's have the radius be like 10. I don't even know if this is going to work functionally yet. Oh. Okay, so that isn't working. There's a step that we're missing here. Because when we're firing right here... Oh. Else. Oh, but this is fire, though. Okay, so I don't want this in fire. I want this to be... Let's cut that out. Let's cut that out. Let's clean this back up. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second. So the fire already assumes that we have enemy. And if enemy is not null, go toward the enemy. Otherwise, just continue. Oh. Let's try that. Then, actually, oops, huh, hold on, okay, hold on a second, let's undo all of that, okay, so now, if, whoops, no, stop that. Or maybe that is what I want. Then homing equals true. And target equals homing target. Okay, we can't do that. I think the issue is stemming from how we have the fire method programmed, because it's defining homing target in here, but we want to define the homing target as anything within this distance. But if fire only happens when we right click, per our character controller, it's defining enemy as find object of type zombie behavior. And if enemy is not null, do this stuff. Otherwise, just move forward. It's very annoying that it does that. Okay, let's see what happened. I mean, we didn't really change anything. But it's... I think we're going to end up with the same problem. Yeah, see? Just right away. Oh, because we're running this in... Hold on. Ugh. I hate it when it does that. Okay. This needs to be cut. Come on. Oh, I still want it moving in that direction. If... Actually, hold on a second. I just realized something. It needs to always have a target. It needs to have the target. I just don't want it to move toward the target until it's at a specific distance. I've been thinking about this all wrong. Hold on a second. This needs to be here. Enemy equals... No, actually, no. Because I just thought about that now. Because then we're right back at the same problem that we had before. Which is that it defaults target. The target ends up being. The target ends up being by default the first zombie in the hierarchy rather than the target that's closest to the rocket once it gets to a certain distance. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Uh, dog's driving me nuts right now. Because she wants her dinner like right now, but dinner time isn't for another hour, and she won't leave me alone. She also kept me up multiple times, woke me up multiple times last night to go outside, to feed her, to whatever, and I don't know what her deal is the last 24 hours, but she is driving me crazy. Okay. Um, I also just kind of took a break to, like, do some dishes and stuff, but... Okay. Um... Oh, I don't know why I was doing that. Alright, so... We need to figure out where to actually define enemy. Because enemy is being... well, it's being defined as an object of... How do I get it to go after the closest thing? Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Basically, as soon as I turned the camera back on, she was sitting down and whining at me again. She's chewing on a bone right now, so hopefully she's preoccupied. Or she'll be occupied, at least until actually it's dinner time. I don't like how poofy my hair is right now. Okay. Are you serious? Now someone's shooting fire. It's fucking 4 o'clock in the afternoon and someone's shooting off fireworks or something. I don't even remember what I was doing. Maybe we do need to redefine what enemy actually is. Because this is not working. Hold on. Let's make sure that things are actually firing for right now. I kind of want to just go back to where we were before and start over from that point. Okay. So now it's aiming at the first one in the hierarchy right now, which is not what we want. We want I think my hair is dry enough. Hold on, let me get this tied up. Okay. Sorry about all that. No, that's not really important. Okay. Sorry, I'm just thinking again. Wait a second. Detection radius was 0. Oh, no, it's not. We were defining it as 10. Weren't we? Why is that not 10? Hey, it's actually drawing the line. Okay, let's make it 7. There. Okay, so we're getting a detection radius now. Okay. Let's back up a little bit now. Which I don't know why that's not being hard coded, but whatever. So I'm grabbing another baby carrot here. Okay. So now, let's say if enemy is not null and vector 3 dot distance enemy dot transform dot position and temp rocket dot transform dot position is less than rocket temp rocket dot get component rocket behavior dot detection radius. we're gonna use an array again. Whoop. Oh, enemies. Damn it. We'd have to call like something for each. Rename enemy. So we have a detection radius now. I'm just trying to think. If we can't get this in this stream, I think we're just going to move on to the next thing and just get this thing. We'll just leave it as it is. We're not going to do this. Um... Because I'm just trying to think. If I can't get this to work the way I want it to, then we can get it at least doing something functional, which it already is. Maybe we should just leave it as it is and move on to get the rest of this prototype built. Because it's in a decent spot. It picks an enemy. Unfortunately, right now it just picks whatever's at the top of the hierarchy that has the zombie behavior on it.
Pizza time.
Thanks for the follow. I didn't... that name is questionable. Oh. Hi, Nathan. Okay, what's up? No worries. It's just really easy to assume that a name like that is probably going to end up being a bot. Alright. Is it like a joke question? Because I'm open to that, especially with kind of running into a wall here. If you could choose anyone to see get tickled as a prank, who would it be? Ryan Reynolds. I don't know why. But I will say, I wouldn't condone, you know, going up and tickling a stranger who is not consenting to being randomly touched like that, but Ryan Reynolds probably. I don't know why he I don't know why he was like, I just went with the first person in my head, thought about it, and was just like, yeah, no, let's go with that. The other one was Ryan Gosling. I don't know why those two popped in my head, but where was the... No, hold on. If target is not null. Target isn't, like, never null, though. Yeah, yeah. You know, actually, that actually reminds me of, there was a story that John Krasinski told on the Tonight, I think it was on the Tonight Show, about how he was at like a party or something, and You'd have to look it up. But if you look up John Krasinski random fan encounter, there was something in that vein. It wasn't tickled. It was something even weirder than that. That a just complete stranger just walked up, asked him a question, and then left, and then came back and just did this thing to him, and then left, and he was just like, didn't even have time to react, and was just like baffled that someone would do that. But I don't want to spoil it because it's a really funny story. But yeah. Oh, that's on Collision Enter. That's not the code we're looking for. It has something to do with this. The fire method and when it's being called, the usability, and this. But maybe we just need to redefine what enemy is. Instead of just find object of type. Enemy needs to be find objective type zombie behavior, but it also needs to be less than... Can I use that here? And is... less than invalid expression term is. Okay. Is that not invalid expression term is boolean dot... Oh, that's a read-only structure? Oh, that's system.boolean. Oh, hold on. What can we do with is? Unity, hold on. Expression term. Oh, what are they running into? Doesn't have to be a celebrity. 26 but non-celebrity, I'd choose my dad. That would be so funny. I've done that to my dad before. Because he would do it to me all the time when I was a kid. And less than... Oh, no, not like recently. Uh, when I was a kid. Come on, man. I feel like I'm like right at the edge of figuring this out. We just need to redefine enemy as... Right now it's just finding the first thing. Okay. How about game object? And rename it to enemies. Find objects. Cannot implicitly convert zombie behavior to... Oh. Object type? Or game object type? Or variable? Yeah, me too. Yeah, he left. Okay, so we can't do that. Let's just keep it at variable. For each. Wait a second. I think I have an idea. If we can use a for each loop to find enemy, or for hold on, I need to look up a for loop really quick. Because if there's a way... Oh, come on. I think I've gone through this before. For loops. For loops are probably the most common type of loop. They are used to iterate a fixed number of times. Their syntax is best explained through an example. For loop always starts with the keyword for. First, the second statement must evaluate to a Boolean. It is checked before each iteration through the loop. If it evaluates to true, then another iteration of the loop will begin. If it evaluates to false, then the loop will finish. This can be thought of as for so long as x is true, the loop will continue. Okay. So I'm trying to think, if I used a for loop here, I don't know if this will work or not. Is there a within? No. I'm losing my mind on this, man. Homing rocket with a for loop in Unity.
Hello comrades,
Oh,
so
that's
today
loud.
we're gonna learn how to make homing missiles. As you can see, we can spawn missiles at different points and they will follow the moving target. Okay, so you see the thing in action, but let's see how we do it. What we need a script which we call rocket launcher. We need a rocket itself. Yeah, plane is just for visuals. We'll need an animation for this character. This is the character. And if we open the animation window, animation here. So
I want to see the script.
let's see the rocket launcher script. It's pretty simple. So we need to have a reference to rocket prefab, spawn positions. Basically, it's a list of game objects. This, remember, spawn points. So this we will use.
So while vector3.distance, okay. Yep. Send homing. Okay. So while vector3.distance, target transform position. but it still needs to target. It needs the target. We have to define the target. Or maybe we don't have to maybe I'd like it if I can define the target while the rocket is moving. Oh, hello.
We need also reference to the target and the speed with which rocket will fly. So in our update method, we will check for the input from mouse button, and if we clicked, then basically create a rocket and create it at one of the random spawn points. So here is the list of spawn points. We get random element from 0 to 4, which is like first 5 elements. We have exactly 5. And we get the position from it, and we spawn it with a transform rotation of rocket prefab. Then we change rotation of rocket prefab to look at our target.
Yeah.
So here's our target. We will reference it. Our target here is this pelvis, which is basically this point on the character.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll start a coroutine, homing, which will basically home our rocket into the target. So we have to pass this rocket that we recently created and saved. And here we have to make a while loop with a condition that checks the distance between target and the rocket. So basically these 2 points, and while the difference between these 2 points is bigger than 0.3, then we move our rocket by normalized direction vector, which we get by subtracting from target position our rocket position. So we subtract it, then we normalize the whole thing, then we multiply it by speed, and then we multiply it also by time delta time, which will smoothen our movement. We have to rotate our rocket by setting look at for the transform of our rocket
we're doing all that
to the
already.
target, and then wait.
Actually, hold on a second. I just remember something that I coded in college. It was like a magnetic projectile or something, and it would bring enemies into it when they reached a certain distance. Actually, I might have just had a trigger on it. Never mind. Oh, that's not what I want. I basically want it, so we don't need this on here. What I want is that whenever an enemy gets... I want the rocket to just shoot straight, and then enemy is defined as anything that crosses this path. Right now, target is the homing target. Wait. If target dot transform dot position is less than, wait, no. If vector 3 dot distance between transform dot position and target dot position. I need the transform dot position is less than or equal to detection radius, then no. See, that doesn't make sense in this context. It's like I have to redefine this entire... else if enemy equals... Wait. Okay, hold on. Before I start messing stuff up, let's do that. Well, let's make sure everything is still functioning the way that it was before. Okay. So it's going toward whatever is on the top of the hierarchy that has that script. That's not what we want. We want the target to be this. Okay, but really quickly, we're going to export this. I'm going to export all of it. Export. .1.41. Because we did make some small edits to the rocket, like we added the gizmo and stuff. Okay. So we have that detection radius. Now we need to figure out how to use it. But first, we are going to take a short break. Oh, I just realized that I wasn't even showing the camera. That's cool. Whatever. Alright, we are going to take a short break, though. I'm going to subtract the amount of time that we did today, or so far, from my timer or whatever. I'm going to give the dog her food and take care of some stuff, and then we'll be back in like 10 or 15 minutes. And then we'll continue. See if we can figure this out. Okay, I'm back. I had the dog her food, and I was actually gone a lot longer than I anticipated. But did some dishes and stuff too. So, okay. I'm gonna try something. It's essentially just a couple code changes, but I'm very curious. Sorry, 1 second. So we already made it back up. Oh, actually. Oh, ooh, hold on. So, I was curious and I tried to use ChatGPT. I don't know if this is working the way I wanted it to, but I typed in, I'm making a game in Unity using C#. I wanted the rocket to shoot straight and then home in on a zombie behavior object, and then that object is less. And that when that object is less than the detection radius away from the rocket. And it essentially gave me add detection. Oh, wait. Modify rocket behavior script. Add detection and homing logic. And I have no idea if this would even be accurate or not. Add detection and homing logic. Modify update method to check if the rocket should start homing based on detection radius and target proximity. Wait, what? It's just a few lines. Okay, so this is in what? This in rocket behavior? Or is this, where is this, an update? so if not homing. Oh! Okay, so what is overlap sphere? If collider dot compare tag zombie target equals that. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. The only issue now though is okay, what else did it say? Adjust fire method to set the initial target and start homing behavior. Right, that's already doing that. You didn't change. It didn't change anything with the fire. Adjust fire method to set the initial target and start homing behavior. Implement detection and homing logic. Update to check. Update to check if the rocket should start homing when a target is set within detection radius. Oh, and this is still... I don't think that's actually any different. Yeah, that code's still the same. Apply explosion force to nearby enemies. That's already doing that, right? Yeah, that's what this is doing. Hold on a second, actually. Colliders equals... That actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Oh no, it's already doing that. Yeah, that's already doing that. We don't really need to update that. Update to check the rocket and start homing it. Modify fire method to initialize the rocket's target and set it to home towards the target. That's on collision enter. If target is not null. Yeah. Okay, that's probably fine, as it is. Then in the player controller, adjust usability method in player controller to properly instantiate rockets and handle firing based on the detection logic and rocket behavior. I want to compare these. Whoops. So, player controller. Usability. I'm definitely doing something different than what they have here. Yep, player, blah, blah, blah. We have current ability, and can fire rocket. Colliders equals. Okay, that's where they're doing something different. Okay, we're gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy and paste that code somewhere else before I nuke this with these changes. Oh, we need to... then this needs to be... Oh, temp rocket dot get component rocket behavior dot detection radius. Okay, now we're gonna find out if we royally blew this up. And I don't condone the use of ChatGPT. Don't use it to write your code for you. The only thing I used it for is to figure out what I was doing wrong and try and see if there was something that it could detect that I could make adjustments to. In reality, you can also ask an actual programmer to get help. And this is for something real small, so it's like... See, and it's still doing this. if not homing. Wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait a second. Whoops. Damn. Okay, what is the null reference, though? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. At line 154? And what other line? Go to definition. Find all zombies within detection radius. Physics.overlap sphere. Transformed opposition. Oh, wait a minute. Shit. Now we're running the into the issue of we're trying to use temp rocket before we're even defining it. Okay, that's probably still not going to work then. I feel like we're getting closer though. Because it's like, I think the behavior is there. It's just kind of out of order the way we have it set up, because it's calling on something with the temp rocket before temp rocket is even being defined. So it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know what this is. You define it 2 lines later, but I can't be, you know, 4 frames in the future. What if I define it here? But then is it going to shoot twice? That's the other thing to worry about. Because now it's calling it twice. Wait. Did we get it? Holy shit. Okay, I want to test something. Holy shit. I think we got it. I think that worked. I think that worked. If we define the temp rocket at the beginning, all of this code will start working. Because now it actually knows what I'm talking about. Funny how that works. Okay. I do want to try something though. Fuck. Why is the ray aiming not working? Oh, because we put it into the player controller. But now I'm kind of nervous because the coroutine isn't working. Oh! That's because it's... Hold on. That's because it's bypassing it. But if we do that... Now the coroutine will start, and our ability isn't outside of that bound. Yeah, so now I can't click until that's turned back on. It'll shoot straight. Endlessly. Oh, it did hit something though. Huh. We got it. It's working. The detection radius is working. Which means we can delete this rocket from the scene. Uh-oh. Hold on. Did anyone else see 2 rockets get shot? Or maybe we don't actually need to call it there, because the rocket shoots. Okay, where's that debug? Okay, right here. Debug. Oh. Alright, for whatever reason it's not... Okay. Alright, we got that working. So that's working now. Okay. I think that's good to move on from that and get... Alright, I am going to take another short break. Just because I have to go to the bathroom. I'm going to let the dog in and then we're going to continue through this lab. Try to figure out what kind of collisions we're going to need. And actually, maybe we should go through that and figure out ahead of time and get some documentation on what of that stuff we're actually going to need and get a list down and then start one task at a time. Okay. With that said, we are going to take a short break. Another like 10 or so minute break now that we got that working. I'm going to make another backup of this before we lose it. And yeah. Alright, we will be back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, the dog's drinking water. Wait, what is this? Minus 33. So 72. Threes. Nice. Okay. Okay, so we got the detection radius, all of that working pretty much exactly as I want it to. I think we can probably add some smoothing to the turning. We'll worry about that later. We can add that to like the backlog or something. So like rocket behavior is good. Ability pickups is good. Next will probably end up being a spawn manager. And then what I want to do now is add a, what the hell? Oh, I ordered pizza, by the way. So if the dog goes crazy, oh, she's not even in here. If the dog goes crazy in a little bit, you know why. Okay. So, smooth rocket turning. Then we're going to add a label to that, and we're just going to call it polish. Like, that's something that I want to do later. But next, we probably need to do a spawn manager. But actually, add tags to your objects, yada yada yada. Use on collision enter for rigid body collisions. On trigger enter for trigger based to destroy or log messages to the console. What should happen when certain collisions occur? Oh. Okay. Make objects into prefabs, which we did. Everything is a prefab now. Other than the plane. We don't need the plane to be a prefab. That's just the ground. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I'm just checking something really quick. Alright. Okay. So next, right, prefabs.
Now all of our enemies and our player and our power-up are all working the way that I expected them to. I did a little bit of adjusting to some of the values so that way our player moves pretty nicely. They're pretty speedy as they zip around. And then you can see we have added all of the collisions for our enemies, and I can pick up the power-up. Now that everything is behaving exactly how it should, I need to spawn all of these different animals and these power-ups during my gameplay, so I need to turn them all into prefabs. In my assets folder, I'm going to right-click, create a new folder, and we will call this prefabs. So this is where we're storing all of our prefabs. And in fact, I want to take all of my enemies and my power-up, and I'm going to drag each of them into the prefabs folder. So now we've created one prefab. Same thing with the second, the third, the fourth, and the power-up. So now I've created all of my prefabs in that folder. I'm actually just going to remove all of these now. I'll just edit them in the prefab window later if I need to. So we'll delete. So now we just have our player. So now we're going to see if all of our different prefabs work. So we'll just test our game. Now power up, I'll just drag in front of the player, and let's see. Now if I go grab it, it should disappear. Cool. And then, let's see, enemy 4. So drag that, drop it. So now you can see that ball rolling all the way down. Cool. Now let's see, let's try one of our enemies. I believe this should be the fast one. It doesn't seem to be moving. So I believe actually the problem is it's just a little too close to the ground. So if I actually just lift it up a little bit, then it actually moves. So it does work. I need to do a little bit of fiddling to make it work properly, but it does work. So now we know that our prefabs are functioning properly. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a new prefabs folder in your assets. So create a folder, rename it prefabs. You're going to drag each one of your different objects that's not your player in your scene or your environment pieces, unless you plan on creating a static scene or something like that and you're going to reuse those objects. So in my case, since I have these enemies and these power-ups that I plan on using and I'm going to be spawning them constantly, I turn them into prefabs, and I also remove them from my hierarchy so that they're no longer the scene. So now that I can utilize these prefabs, I can start spawning them when I need them. Now it's your turn.
Okay. Well, we already did that. Yep, okay. So next, make spawn manager spawn prefabs. Okay, so the next thing we're going to need to do is that. Okay. Sorry. Sorry, I'm looking at, Jesus Christ. Why is Hawk Twa trending in political figures? Sorry, I said just a second, but I really just wanted to check Twitter. We're gonna go back to that and we're gonna go back to start working on the game in just a second. But like, okay. Anyway, we're not streaming Twitter. We're streaming game development stuff. I can look at Twitter later. All right. Whoop. Okay. All right. So next, let's take a look at this video just so we can get started on our spawn manager. Also, really quickly, I'm just gonna turn the light on. Make spawn manager, spawn prefabs.
Now we have all of our prefabs set up for all of our enemies and our power-ups so that we can reuse them with Spawn Manager to spawn them at random intervals and in random locations. To do that, first we need a Spawn Manager game object, so we'll actually right-click in our hierarchy, we're going to create an empty game object. We don't actually need it in the scene and visible, we just need a game object to hold it. Rename it Spawn Manager. Now, we need a script to actually manage all of our spawning. So in my scripts folder in the project window, I'll right-click, create a C# script. We'll call it Spawn Manager. Now we have the Spawn Manager script. I'm going to left-click and drag onto our Spawn Manager. And if I go to my Spawn Manager object, we should see the script is added. So that's good. Now I'm going to double-click on the Spawn Manager script so we can open it in our IDE. So in my Spawn Manager script, if we recall back to Prototype 2, where we were spawning all of these animals, I actually need to hold an array so that I can get references to each of my prefabs. And I'm going to use a different variable to actually store our power-ups. You could do the same and then do some array magic, but I'm not going to do that. That's a little bit too complicated, unnecessary. So now I have an array for my enemies, and then I just have a game object for my power-up. Now first, I'm going to assign these in the inspector. So if I select in Unity my Spawn Manager game object in the hierarchy, I have the enemies array. So I have 4 different enemies, so I'll make it a size of 4. So now we have 4 slots for our enemy game objects and then a power-up. So I'm going to actually do the power-up first. We'll left-click and drag the prefab. And then for each of the enemies, left-click and drag into each of the elements. So now I have references to all of these enemies and my power-up. So now I'll need to consider 2 problems. I have to spawn my power-ups in the area where my player is, and I also need to spawn all of my enemies in the area in front of my player, or from my top-down perspective above my player. In fact, I'm going to clean up this variable. So this might get a little bit confusing because I actually do need to also consider my boundaries for my power-up. So I'm going to call it Z enemy spawn. So this is the Z location that the enemy will spawn at. and then I need 2 more private variables for the maximum range on the X that enemies or power-ups can spawn, so luckily I can reuse this. And then another thing to consider is that my power-ups can only spawn within a certain range. So my player's maximum and minimum Z is 6 and -6. So I need to make the Z spawn range around like 5 and -5. In fact, I'm going to actually change the X so that's a little bit more clear. So this is actually the range of values that we can spawn at instead of the boundary. So that way it lines up better, especially with our Z power-up range. Now, what I need to do first is I need to actually create my enemies and my power-ups. So first I'll actually make a void, because we don't need to return since we're using the instantiate method. So this will be void spawn enemy. Now with our spawn enemy, I need to actually get a random range on our X coordinates. So now we're getting a random position on the X that our enemies can spawn at. Now we need to instantiate one of our random enemies. So in fact, actually what I want to do first is I need to get a random enemy to spawn. So now I have that random index. So with instantiate, I need to spawn it at a position, spawn the object, and make sure it's rotated properly. In order to also get that position, we need to make a vector3 variable. So now in our instantiate method, we instantiate one of our random enemies, spawning it at that spawn position that we created, and then we just use the transform. Actually, we need to get the enemy's index, so that way we get the right enemy that we're using. Get that game objects transform dot rotation. So now it's oriented in the proper direction. My code is yelling at me, so actually just make it.
Sorry, pizza just got here, so Lulu was going crazy. Okay. How are we doing with time? First off, how long have I even been live for? Almost 4 hours? So 18 from 69. Nice. 10. So we're left with like 51 minutes of development time still. I might do some stuff off stream, like just some documentation stuff in the remaining time. But I think I'm actually going to end stream there. I don't know if I'm going to stream more later or not. I know sometimes I'll stream game development stuff, and then later on after dinner and some stuff, I'll stream again to play a game. I don't think I'm going to do that today. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. But if that changes, I'll let you know. If I decide that I do want to stream in a little bit, then I'll let you guys know ahead of time, to the best of my ability. So, okay. Let's see who's live. Let's go raid somebody, and then I'll probably eat dinner and hang out in their stream for a little bit. Following. don't remember following this person. Let's go raid Athena. They're playing Palia. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching and hanging out. I'll let you know when the next stream is. Probably at some point tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow evening. I do have some stuff that I got to do in the morning for the new job. And then once I figure out what my actual work schedule is going to be, then maybe we'll actually have like a stream schedule. I think doing game development stuff on stream allows me to be able to have a job and be able to do game development stuff and streaming all at the same time. So I think this is going to be a continued pattern. But I'll need to figure out what like an actual consistent schedule is going to look like. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I don't know if I'm going to stream in a little bit later to play a game. I will let you know. I'll either let you know in the Discord or I'll let you know on like on Twitter and Facebook or whatever. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna go raid Athena Bean for some Palia, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.